man is always chasing you for some kind of experience. Don't let them experience you.
Too attractive that they're intimidated, which is why they don't talk to me.
So I'm thinking I had a prenup the whole time.
Talk to him about a prenup.
A prenup?
I think that I should have half of everything that you've worked your entire life for.
Doesn't matter if you're rich or not. It doesn't matter if you have a house or, money like that.
Why would you not want to sign? Our love is
Your
good.
money is my money. Simple as that.
I knew my husband would want one, and I didn't even make him ask. Right after we got engaged, I said, I bet you want a prenup. And he said, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to Mortar Life. Now, before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get all my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this.
The way I think about it is either I'm ugly, which is why guys don't talk to me, or I'm too attractive that they're intimidated, which is why they don't talk to me. And I don't think I'm ugly, so I'm going to go with option number 2.
Too attractive that they're intimidated. Lady, I'm sorry. Every person's watching right now and they can say themselves they don't think that's the case, but you've been lied to your whole life, so here we are.
Ladies, do not think you're superior to another woman just because you're beautiful. Men like anything. Now, before I get into it,
This is what I hate that they do this. They get confused. They think men like anything because I saw it happen. I'm going to explain this real quick and then I'm going to let it play. I saw a woman, she said it herself. She was on a dating app for a man because she told the man, you guys seen it too, one of my recent videos. She told the man, I can get a girl. So as she was trying to hunt for a girl, she ended up downgrading and talking to 2s and 3s because she was desperate. Hence what men do, and women get it confused. Let me stop talking. I'll stop now.
It's your internet big sis with love bets, backwards and Sicily dating advice. Now, why I say this is because I will even go as much to say as I've had this arrogance before. You can think that you're pretty, you're attractive, and see a girl who's not that pretty or not that attractive and think that, you're quote unquote better looking than her, so you should get more male attention than her that night. I mean, I thought this when I was 19. I'm a grown woman now, and I want all women to have their male attention because at the end of the day, the male gaze is nice. However, we need to understand that men, there are so many women out there, and men have experienced so many women that they can be attracted to a woman for the smallest thing for the shortest amount of time. So a guy might see a woman and think she's got long legs, and he's never slept with a girl that's got long legs, so he wants to experience her. He can see a woman that's got a big rotund, you know what I'm saying, and want to experience that because that's what he likes. He could see a woman that's, he could see a woman that's outside of his race and he's never experienced that and he wants to experience that. So my first point is, don't think because a man is chasing you, it's for anything other than an experience. Obviously, there are times where men will be chasing you for the experience and more, but initially, a man is always chasing you for some kind of experience. Secondly, you appeal, this is the good news, to a lot more men than you think you do, because there are some men who say they don't like big girls, even though they might have a big back themselves, but anyway, I won't go into that, but they will want to experience a big girl. There are some men that don't like skinny girls, but they will see a skinny girl and think, oh, you're attractive, I want to experience you. Ladies, we have to start using this to our advantage. Don't let them experience you.
That sounds like being single.
Yeah.
Just talk to them. Get to know them. They will have a certain amount of time for you because you've piqued their interest. And, like I would say, some of the scumbaggery ones will just be like, you're not giving up straight away? Okay, bye, deuces. But some of them will have time to invest in trying to see if they can gain that experience. And if you let them invest the time, like I say, they're getting to know you. They're getting to see what kind of girl you are. They're getting to see, if you make them laugh. They're getting to see if they enjoy spending time with you. You're having the opportunity to build a friendship. So use this information in your favor, and understand that if you let a guy experience you because of something about you that's piqued his interest and you let him experience you quickly, that will probably be the only experience that you have with him. unless he kind of creates an environment where he's consistently experiencing that thing. However, that usually doesn't come with any kind of commitment or reliability or anything that you can take to the bank. So like I always say, there's always an exception to the rule, but for best results, assume it's not you.
She wishes she could have it that way, but all a guy is going to do is on to the next one. You woman, most of you, and this is wild because it's like this. You want the best of the best. So the best of the best, getting woman doing what? Here you go. I'm going to throw it to you, baby. All over the place. They're walking down the block. You ever seen a guy that was 6'8" walk up the block and watch how women react? You guys have seen that before. You seen one of those videos? They walk up the block and women just, hey, come here, 6'8" guy. Come have my babies. It's wild. So no, what you want to do is not going to work. And man is not going to give you that time because women with the men they want, they throw it.
I want to show you guys what I got at the thrift store because this is just sad. This is why I'm still single. This right here. What was going through my head? Like what was I planning on?
You was planning on being a tomboy, but you're kind of cute though. But still, a guy's not gonna show any interest. Like you're a dude.
Last relationship, we broke up because he asked me to marry him, but then he asked me to sign a prenuptial agreement, and I said absolutely not. I think that's bogus. I'm not going to sign a piece of paper that says that if you leave me, I get nothing. Like, I think that I should have half of everything that you've worked your entire life for. And I think that's fair.
I wasn't shocked at the audacity.
There are a lot of women that think like this. I believe she now lives in America. I see her on, you guys see her too, on a lot of like skits and things like that. She's trying to make her come up, but do I think she's serious? Yes, I do. I see a lot of women that are foreign, and guys got to watch out for them. Watch out for those foreign women. You're gonna see them later that don't want you to sign prenups and say, "Oh, it's in my nature." Nonsense. You sign that prenup, or we don't get married.
Eating, but this is for all my girls that are engaged, about to get married, or that want to eventually get married in life. Can we please normalize and talk about prenups? Because when my husband and I were wedding planning and the conversation about prenup came up, I immediately thought, like, wait, does this guy think that we're going to get divorced one day? Or does he think that he needs to have a prenup because if we get divorced, like, I'm going to run away with all his money? Because no, that's definitely not the case. Number one, I don't wish a divorce on my husband and I. Number two, even if we were to get divorced, I have a good education, I have a good degree, I have a good job, and I know I'm well secure within myself that I wouldn't need anyone's money like that to survive, especially if I were to get a divorce. But why aren't people, especially women, like, educated more enough or about prenups? Like, why? Did anyone else feel that way, the way that I did when they were about to get married? Let me also share one more thing, what I used to think about prenups. I used to think, and I'm sure there are people that think this way, that prenups were only beneficial for people that either had money or a property, family inheritances, or a trust fund. And actually, it doesn't matter if you're rich or not. It doesn't matter if you have a house or, money like that. It is important for all couples to get prenups because in most states, and I feel like this is in all states, the state will make you a prenup regardless of whether you make one or not. And guess how much it costed me to hire a lawyer and complete all my prenup paperwork, the contract, including the meetings. I think I had 1 or 2 meetings with my attorney about reviewing and making the prenup and everything that I wanted to include in the prenup. Guess how much? It costed me $1,500 in total. And yeah, there are some lawyers that cost like a lot more, like well over the thousands, like 4, 6, some cost 10,000. But you can find a very good lawyer like mine that can do it for a reasonable price and you can get the job done. Something else that we need to understand is that a prenup doesn't always apply if, you know, a couple is going to get divorced or if they're going to get separated. It also applies to, you know, God forbid a spouse passes away due to a medical like illness, especially if, you know, that couple had a house or any like loans together. You need to protect your assets. You need to protect your finances, particularly if you also have kids on top of that. Their future is on the line. Another thing that you need to consider, which is most common, is the fact that when people get married, eventually they would want to get a house together. More than likely, both of their names and their finances are going to be associated with that house. A lot of couples share cars, properties, land, and other big financial transactions or purchases. And those are things that you need to consider, especially in your prenup. And then there's always that one hard pill to swallow that you have to keep in the back of your head. And it's the one where people do fall out of love or people change over time. And no matter how great of a relationship, dating life, marriage you had in your earlier years with your spouse, things may change and you may decide that you may not want to go through the rest of your life with that person. And it may not happen to everyone, but I've seen marriages, you know, change over time and divorces ending up nasty. And then people are fighting over money, the house, the car, you know, bank accounts. And that is when you need to consider a prenup, because it may not happen to you, it may happen to others, but you always have to keep it in the back of your head. It could happen.
You're really not gonna sign a prenup?
No, I'm not signing no prenup. What you got is what I got.
Okay, but I don't understand, why would you not want to sign? Basically, our love is
Your
real.
money is my money. Simple as that.
Okay, why are we going straight to the money? It don't have me. All I'm doing is my lawyers are telling me that I have to protect myself, and it's not from you, but it's just
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Everything that you bring in the house, is mine too.
Nah, because I mean, what did you come with? What did you come with that you deserve to think you just don't like? Like, this is for our own protection. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you see what he's doing? My lawyers are telling me, stop talking like that. Don't talk like that to a woman. If you want to get married to me, you need to sign this paper.
Be firm.
Or else we're not getting married. Simple as that. Why? Because she's going to keep giving that song and that dance because she sees weakness. She sees it's written all over him. Look at her looking. She's gazing into offer to the. What about the next thing I'm going to do tomorrow? She's gazing off. What about the next thing I'm going to do? She's lost. What are you looking at up there?
I don't care what you say. It's my money too. Simple as that.
But see, the lawyer said that's what you was gonna do, though. They were saying you was not. So what's the point of you not signing the prenup?
The money that you bring home is mine too. Simple as that. End the conversation.
That's crazy. So I guess there ain't gonna be no wedding.
Whatever. It's gonna be a wedding.
See, then just don't get married.
When we got married, I was the girl that was like, I'm not signing a prenup. Because I'm marrying you till death do us part. I come from a legacy of women who stand by their men no matter what. So you don't have to worry about me. And I'm not signing a prenup because to me, contracts are real. So if you're writing that if this happens, you're basically saying that's going to happen. Yeah. And so I see how now in hindsight, I am such an advocate of prenups because marriage at the end of the day is a business. Because at the end of the day, we are all individual souls. Let's stop with the literalness that something is going to last forever. Nothing lasts forever. So even I heard this once that even marriages where the two people are married forever, that marriage is going to look 3 to 5 different ways over time.
This woman has a shot. You come across a woman like this, keep her. She's thinking logically, right? I'm not saying there's not some other screws that are messed up there. And some other things you'll find along the way. But if you can get along on certain things, like before you get married, signing that prenup and you know why, you know exactly why you should sign it and why you should work with me right now. Whoa, that feels good.
A prenup is done before you get married. And remember, on marriage, what happens if there's a separation, everything is 50-50. So if you have assets or money beforehand, a prenup is a good idea to have and put in place, all right? In the UK, it is not legally binding. This is really important to understand. In the UK, it's not legally binding. So if you do a prenup, it doesn't mean that whatever you write has to happen. However, with prenups, courts are holding them more. So actually, it's actually worth doing now. Whereas before, you know, courts were not listening to them. It's actually worth doing now. Courts are upholding them a lot more. So it's really worth doing. And it's really good, especially if you've got assets and you've got children. It's really important, you know, put in there what you want to do and make sure you know how it's going to be split before you get married. All right? A post-nup is done after marriage, so after you get married. Now, again, it's not legally binding, but because it's done after marriage, they're upheld a lot more. So they're a lot more likely to be upheld because they were done after marriage, all right? It's harder to get your partner to sign a post-nup, okay? Because they're already getting 50%. Now, if they sign this document, they might only get 20% or nothing at all. So it's really important to, if you can, get them to do a prenup, okay? And there may be some times where you will get a prenup and a post-nup. Because again, if you build wealth together after marriage, you might also want to get a post-nup after marriage as well to talk about what happens with your wealth after marriage and the wealth that you built together after you get married.
What if he married you without any government assistance? For example, no legal contract. Just say, you know what, let's go to a church, let's get married. Would that be cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you be okay if he made you sign a prenuptial agreement?
Oh!
Oh, shit.
That's a no.
Prenup!
That's why he don't want to get married.
I am 7 months pregnant.
Okay.
And my fiance asked me to sign a prenup.
Why do you think he asked you to sign the prenup? Is he wealthy?
Yeah, there's a major difference there.
What would you say? Give us a range.
I would say less than 10.
Less than 10. Okay. How did it make you feel?
It made me feel curious. It made me feel kind of excited in a way because we could like work through this together.
Okay.
You know, I know he works really hard for his money, so.
So if I were in your shoes, I would be looking for things that change over time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like whatever the splits are, whatever you're entitled to or not entitled to, I'd be looking for things that show, listen, once we've been in this for a certain number of years, I want to know that I'm considered an equal partner. And I could maybe consider...
Not listening.
Understand how maybe at 2 years in, he might not feel that way because he's amassed this wealth and you are not a part of it. And I don't know, whatever his reasons are. But after a certain while, I want to be viewed as an equal partner and I want to be viewed as an equal share. And I want to know that I'm going to be taken care of in this relationship because I'm having your baby. And so there's a part of that that I'd be looking for. And it sounds like you guys are able to have these conversations in an open and honest way. If he's open and honest, I want you to be 100% open and honest about also what you need.
Yeah, she needs to sign a prenup.
A prenup is not ironclad.
Did you have a prenup?
I did, but him and his mom disposed of it.
So you had
He never sent it to the my lawyer.
Okay, so you put a prenup for him to sign, or he gave you a prenup for you to sign, or was it just
it was both.
Okay, you get this prenup, you execute it. He didn't actually sign it.
He never sent it in.
But he told you he sent it in.
Yeah, and then the lawyer never reached out to me for a whole year. So I'm thinking I had a prenup the whole time.
You think you have a prenup in place and you have nothing in place.
Fucking nothing in place. Like, I'm like, whoa. So now I'm like up creek right now.
Father's doing prenups because, man, if she was smarter, woo, she would have had a field day with him.
My situation with Graham, a prenup is totally there. I think if somebody's coming into a marriage with assets they had before, they probably are going to want them after. And I can totally understand a prenup. And I have a decent amount of stocks. You have your real estate properties. It's nice to feel like those things are kind of protected, if that makes sense.
The whole aspect of a prenup is agreed upon between both parties. So you could always ask for something, and it's up to the two to agree on that together.
Let me tell you what my husband says. He says that if a man asks you to sign a prenup, run. Because he's not a provider, like he's already keeping something from you and he's already in that mindset of like trying to protect himself.
It's probably easy for a man to say this if he's never been burned before in divorce. He's got his guard down. He doesn't realize potential loss he's staring at when he chooses to marry. And it's not about keeping things from you. It's about helping things along in the event of a divorce. I mean, you're already losing your partner. Emotional damage. There's just so much going on. Prenup.
I like that she said that because that's what it's really about. The prenup is really about making sure, you know, things move along and the woman doesn't get all of his assets, but make sure the woman gets enough assets. Like, women don't realize that when a man has them sign a prenup, it's not so they don't get anything. It's so they don't take all of his money. Like, if a guy's a millionaire and he has $10 million, he needs to sign a prenup because a woman would take 5. And what's the sense of that?
can make things easier. It's not always about making sure that the other person doesn't get anything. It can be more about keeping things organized. And if the way divorces continue to go, most men will require a prenup. Otherwise, it makes no sense for them to get married. A man is not entitled to give you everything he's worked his ass off for his entire life. Especially because you could end up not being a good wife to him, cheat on him. You shouldn't lose everything after something like that.
She's right. I like that she explained it like that. And I'm happy about the way she cleaned it up. And because you guys feel that way too. You don't say like, oh, I'm going to get divorced from you and not give you nothing. It's just so they don't clean you out.
Did you ask her to stay at home and raise your children? Did you ask her not to work? Because if I'm a divorce attorney and I say, did your husband ask you not to work? And she's something that says that, yeah. I remember when he texted me back in 2015 when we was dating and said, baby, I don't want you to work. And I got
Don't text your wife. The receipt.
I got text messages from way back then because I keep them forever because I got an iPhone. And I got it right here. Here's the screenshot. And I say, Your Honor, back in 2015, he asked her to stay at home and raise them children.
Now, there's lawyers that can do this. So make sure, as this says here at the top, get a prenup. You get a prenup. That's really it.
Children. She has not worked in 10 years. Well, not 10, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? She hasn't worked in 10 years, 20 years, 25 years. She doesn't have an earning capacity anymore. She was 15 years ago. So he has to be responsible for paying her maintenance and her upkeep of her lifestyle because that was what you requested as a man.
So you had this conversation with me, right? You had this conversation with me and where I became dependent on you. I think there should be a certain extent until, you know, how long that lasts if we divorce, where you the life that you were giving me. But at the end of the day, that just shows you that, or tells you is that you should be well aware of what you're asking and what are the consequences that come with that.
And you can have all of that stuff written in the prenup.
What are your thoughts on a prenup?
That's such a controversial thing.
Honestly, I think I would. Because, like, I want to protect my assets, too. It doesn't come down to trust. Obviously, like, if I'm dating someone, I trust them. It does come down to, like, whatever is mine before I earned, like, that's mine. It's kind of like the same thing how a lot of girls say, like, they earned their degree, so why would they change their last name on the...
Look at, like, statistics, too. I know that's a bad way to look at it sometimes. Genuinely speaking, most people don't make it.
JT's gonna tell his wife the day before the wedding, yo, statistically, man. Like, statistically.
Wala. Ifunukumuuluguthi mina nawe dali sapo. Ito nyalwen community of property. Ke batla divorce. When we
You guys already know. Beware of some of those African women.
Two things are going to happen if you sign a prenup. A, you're going to stay together forever and you're never going to need it.
Yep.
B, you're going to decide to split and it is going to be kind and friendly for both of you. Still so difficult.
Kind and friendly, probably not.
I think anybody should get a prenup.
Should get a prenup. I'm sort of sick of the narrative.
Don't love each other if you get a prenup.
That, and it's always in movies when like women are presented a prenup and they're like, I can't believe it. I won't sign this, blah, whatever. You should not feel that way.
It's wild. I feel like when it comes to people having a grasp or understanding prenups, I think white women understand them a lot more and understand the prenups are not meant to harm the woman. They're just simply not.
I do not have a prenup. We got married 20 years ago. He asked me to marry him. I wasn't looking to get married. When he came to me and said, I want a prenup, I was like, then I'm not your girl, dude. If I say I'm going to marry you, I'm all in. Like, there's no quitting. It's like you're either in or you're out. I've been the supporter of...
All right, I got to stop it right there. My man Grant Cardone doesn't have a prenup. My bro, what are you doing? Yeah, she's working with you. She's grinding with you on things. But you're worth a lot of money, my bro. What are you doing?
Of Grant, he's built everything. But where's my value in that? He could not have those two girls without me. I gave him something he could never get without me. I brought in people that he's collaborated and made millions with. I made a distraction-free environment so that he could go and make decisions and not worry about his wife and kids. How do you quantify that? I wouldn't say, oh, I'm going to go do all of this and help build this, and then you're going to cut me out if we never make it. Hell no. But that won't happen because we're in it to win it.
Yeah, I get it. One thing I know about Grant Cardone and his wife, it's kind of like how me and my wife team up on things. Actually, my wife worked with me on a like call center thing so I can move out here. And his wife is the same way. His wife jumps on has jumped on sales calls for him. Sometimes he'll throw his wife on the sales call and she'll actually close the deal. Same thing I've done with my wife. So it's a little bit different. You know, you gotta add that into the play and say, okay, yeah, she's shooting shots with him in the gym.
This morning, I had to meet with our lawyers.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I talked to him about a prenup.
A prenup?
Just relax.
It is the week of our wedding, Eric.
Yes, I know, but it's like...
You're bringing this up now? Here?
We need to go to a notary later today, so I need your signature.
Why are you just now telling me about this?
Because things have...
Bro, she's under duress. Do not have her sign that prenup. You probably have to put off getting married right now because she's under duress and she has proof. She's on television. She's under duress.
Things have been so busy with everything, and like we're on a time crunch. I mean, my family has so much money at stake here.
I'm not a gold digger, Eric.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm literally
Then
just saying
what is
this
this?
protection.
This is an accusation.
For both. No, it's not. Think about this. I'm gonna go to the restroom.
Are you kidding me?
Right there. I'll be back.
Need a hug? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm shaking. I just am like in shock right now. Call your mom or your dad.
I mean, is this normal? Is this a good sign?
I see a lot of things about a prenup is just a way to protect you, because whether it's you designating what happens or nobody goes into getting married thinking that anything like that is going to happen.
Right.
Obviously, it's upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a heavy thing to just bring on somebody.
I think you guys are right. I think I just need to like call my mom, but if he comes back out, we all just tell him I just needed a break. I'm going to call my mom and dad.
I give shouts out to that woman right there. She diffused the situation. Because that's what a prenup is. It's really to protect all parties. And she explained it. And yeah, because she doesn't sign it, he can't get married.
My boyfriend asked for a prenup and I feel offended and sad. What would you do? What I did, my love, was sign a prenup. I knew my husband would want one, and I didn't even make him ask. Right after we got engaged, I said, I bet you want a prenup. And he said, yeah.
That's my girl.
I do. And I said, no problem.
Wow.
I have nothing against him wanting to ensure what he has created for himself. And that's what a prenup is. It's just insurance. You having insurance on your car doesn't mean you're going to smash it into a pole. You having insurance on your house doesn't mean you're going to burn it down. And a couple having insurance on their assets doesn't mean they're headed for divorce. In today's world, it's okay to protect what you've created. It's okay to have insurance.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a cooperating woman. Check her out too.
I was a millionaire by the time I was 22, and my husband and I do not have a prenup, and we have 100% joint finances. We share the same checking account, savings account, business accounts. We're both on it all. And all of our money comes into our personal checking.
Hold up. I got to stop this. She's going to tell a long story. I'm not going to waste you guys' time with it because she still looks young now. Her and her man amassed their millions of dollars together as a couple. It's a no-brainer, right? Just like what happened with Grant Cardone, just like what happened with me. And guys are trying to find women to amass that wealth together. Why are guys doing that? Because they realize, guys know, it's definitely more to life than having it any way but like that. Thank y'all for watching. See you next video.